On Tuesday evening, the President of the United States will commence his normal and usual annual State of the Union address. And this year could be fairly interesting because what the President is going to be asking for. The biggest thing he's going to be asking for is a change in the way we vote. And frankly, it makes sense if you think about it. What he wants is to make sure everyone voting is a citizen of the United States, because that's the way it should be done. If you're not a citizen, you don't belong voting. And the only way to make sure it is a citizen voting is to make sure you're registered and verified as a citizen. The other thing the president wants is getting rid of these electronic machines, going to simply a paper ballot. You mark the paper ballot is checked and counted, and it's all done in the same day. So you know when an election is done, who won and who lost, rather than taking days and weeks to figure out who won an election. This is what he wants stopped. And possibly another thing he may bring up is the fact of using one day as a national holiday to determine what election day is. And normally when it comes around in November, should that be a national holiday so people can get off of work and can go out and vote. Now, keep in mind, there's some people who are going to have to work at their jobs. That's standard procedure. But if the polls are open long enough and late enough, people can get their vote in. Now, as far as mail-in voting, absentee voting, that will be limited, and I mean severely limited, to people in the military, people like me, or at least when I was in the military, and for people who have a health issue that's certified by a doctor says they can't get to vote. But beyond that, we have learned that mail-in voting is a lot of fraud going on. In 2020, we saw the election come in and there were like 80 million votes, 81 million votes for one candidate. That's never happened in history. And most of those were mail-in ballots. And frankly, when you take a look at 2024, how many ballots were cast, it dropped down to like 74 million. Doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't answer any questions. No one has ever gotten that many ballots in history. How it happened in one election, you draw your own conclusion. But right now, what we're looking at is this: changing the way America votes. On one day, paper ballots, and be certified you're a citizen to be able to vote in our election. If that's done, I think we can have a free and a fair election. And I believe that's going to come up on the State of the Union this Tuesday. So if you're not doing anything, I suggest you watch. I suggest you listen. And I suggest you learn. That's what's coming up. And now you know.